The Motorola Edge 20 that launched last year was a pretty good phone, but it had a couple of features missing. Now, this is here. This is the Motorola Edge 30 and this does three things. It lowers down the price to 27,999 and it brings some really meaningful upgrades, and it also cuts down on a few things. I'll talk about that, but let's check out the biggest change from the Edge 20, the design. So this is the new Motorola Edge 30 and the design here is a big upgrade if you ask me. Why? Well, unlike most manufacturers who are making their phones bigger and bulkier, Motorola has done the opposite. The new Edge 30 is smaller, more compact than the Edge 20. I mean, just look at this comparison. Honestly, I've always liked compact, slim and lightweight phones, and the Edge 30 is exactly that. It's not as small as say the Pixel 4 or 4a, but I think this size strikes a very good balance, especially because it's crazy lightweight at just 155 grams, and it is the slimmest 5G phone in the world at 6.79mm thickness. This means that even though this flat frame is PMMA thermoplastic, unlike the Edge 20's aluminum frame, I think it looks fine because it's so slim. I mean, here's the frame in comparison to an iPhone to give you a better idea. So the size has gotten better in the Edge 30 coming from the Edge 20, but the looks have also gotten better, wouldn't you say? I mean, the Edge 20's flashy gradient back is not something everybody liked, and the Edge 30's more subtle color looks a lot more classy. Now, if you do like things flashy, the Edge 30 is also available in a green variant. As for the finish, it is PMMA thermoplastic, which is also known commonly as acrylic glass. And the camera model also has the same design as the newer Moto phones, but the camera bump is kind of big. I mean, you can't use this phone on a desk. Now, apart from the looks, Motorola has also added a couple of fan favorite features in the Edge 30's design. So the first feature is an in-display fingerprint scanner. Honestly, we've been wanting Motorola to do this at least in the high-end phones, and they've finally heard us. The fingerprint scanner, as you can see, is fast and nice on the front. Another thing that the Edge 20 lacked is dual speakers, and the Edge 30 fixes that too. Yes, there's a speaker here on the bottom and a speaker on the top. Now these speakers are fairly loud and the sound quality seems good too. Now these are good changes, but apart from that, there's no micro SD slot, no headphone jack, and there's an IP52 rating for splash resistance. Moving to the front, the display hasn't changed, and that's not a bad thing because you get the same beautiful 10-bit POLED display with the same super high 144Hz refresh rate. Here is the display in action, and yeah, this is a beautiful panel with very punchy colors and the usual inky blacks you associate with OLED. The high refresh rate is also noticeable because Android 12 seems to be optimized for this refresh rate, and its animations feel really smooth. Apart from this, the phone has the wide L1 license, and Motorola says that the screen has HDR10 support, but Netflix does not seem to be compatible with that. The next aspect where the Edge 30 has gotten an upgrade is the chipset. It's a fairly minor upgrade. The Edge 30 brings the Snapdragon 778G Plus, which is the same as the 778G, but with a higher clocked CPU. The RAM is LPDDR5 and the storage is UMCP storage, which offers speeds close to UFS 2.2. Now, honestly, I'm glad that Motorola has retained the Snapdragon 778G in the Motorola Edge 30 because I've seen a lot of other manufacturers switch from the Snapdragon 778G to the Dimensity 900, which is kind of a downgrade. So yeah, thumbs up to Motorola. Also, if you know which manufacturers I'm talking about, give a thumbs up below. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the 778G Plus is not a big upgrade, but it does make a difference in benchmarks. Here's the Antutu score of the Edge 30, and you can see the scores are higher when compared to the Snapdragon 778G. And it's not just Antutu, even in Geekbench and also in 3D Mark, the scores of the 778G Plus are higher. I also ran the CPU throttling tests on the Edge 30 and the performance was good, be it in the 50 threads test or 20 threads. Apart from these tests, the Edge 20 is a fast and snappy phone. The 778G has been reliable on almost every phone I've used, and the Edge 30 feels the same, be it in day-to-day usage or gaming. I mean, it is 778G Plus, so games like BGM are optimized better. I mean, BGMI supports HDR Ultra or Smooth Extreme settings, and the game performance is very good. Next up, the cameras have gotten a good upgrade and also a downgrade. So the main camera is now a 50 megapixel, which does not seem like an upgrade to the 108 megapixel sensor on the Edge 20, but megapixels don't matter and it has OIS. It also has the higher resolution 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, which also works as a macro lens. Now, one cut down is obviously no telephoto lens, which the Edge 20 had, so that's there. But apart from that, the camera performance has definitely improved. First of all, I've been complaining about Motorola's camera UI for a long time, and they finally made it better. You finally get all the camera modes up front, and I like that important settings like video resolution, aspect ratio are all on the top. I don't have to go into settings for anything. Anyway, the camera performance is better too. I compared the Edge 30 photos versus the Edge 20, and the 50 megapixel sensor with OIS takes better shots than the 108 megapixel sensor, be it in daytime or low light. I mean, photos are just sharper and better exposed all around, and low light is actually a big difference if you ask me. OIS also makes videos more stable. You can see less shake in the Edge 30 video, and the Edge 30's video is also better in quality for sure. The 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera is also an improvement. The Edge 30's ultra-wide shots have better colors and more details almost every single time. The front camera is the same 32 megapixel sensor, but the Edge 30 has 4K video recording on the front, which was lacking in the Edge 20. Now here's some selfies from the phone, and here's a video now shot from the front camera. This is a 4K video from the front camera of the Motorola Edge 30. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. When it comes to software, the Edge 30 comes with Android 12 on board, which is awesome, and it's the same pixel-like clean experience with the same Material UI, the theming features, and obviously there are a few useful Moto features like the Moto gestures, the big display, and the very cool Ready For, which works both wired and wirelessly. Plus, there's almost no bloatware except for Facebook, and there are no weird ads or features. Plus, Motorola has promised the Android 13 and 14 update for this phone along with 3 years of security patches. Apart from this, the battery remains the same at 4020 mAh battery, and there's a 33-watt turbo power charger in the box. I know it's not the fastest charger, but at least there is a charger in the box. On the connectivity front, the Edge 30 has 13 5G bands, there's 3CA carrier aggregation support with 4x4 MIMO, NFC support, Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. They're all the important sensors you expect to. Coming to the pricing, like I said at the start, the Motorola Edge 30 brings the pricing down with the 6 128GB variant costing 27,999 and the 8 128GB variant costing 29,999. Plus there is 2,000 off with HDFC bank credit cards. Now if you ask me my opinion on this phone, I think this is a very solid, well-balanced smartphone for the price. I mean, it brings some really good changes to the Edge 20, which by the way is already a very good phone. I mean, the design is more compact, it's lighter and slimmer, the fingerprint scanner is in the screen now, the phone has stereo speakers, which was missing. And I like that Motorola went ahead with the Snapdragon 778G+, and I like that the main camera and ultra-wide camera performance is better. Now, there are a few quirks, like there's no telephoto lens, which was present in the Edge 20, there's no aluminum frame, and I'm yet to test out the battery performance, but I want to know your opinion on this. What do you think about the Edge 30 at 27,999? Comment right now. Also, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. That's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
WhatsApp's long-awaited feature is finally here. If you long press a message on WhatsApp, you get a pop-up with 6 emojis.